know.
Does anyone even still use Facebook anymore?
We do. um, it's weird because Facebook, I find I have like half the people I know are on Facebook
Yeah.
and half are on Twitter.
Mhm.
Facebook is like kind of all my family, like distant
Yeah.
relatives and stuff.
Yep.
I love Facebook because now I don't have to do small talk. Like I don't have to call
Yeah.
my aunt in Saskatchewan and be like, hey, what's up? I could just be like, oh, cool, she's doing that.
Right.
I mean, I probably should talk to her and stuff, but
My parents don't have Facebook, but I have a lot of aunts,
is that even
you know,
allowed?
cousins. I don't know. But I'll post, family pictures or pictures of my kids on Facebook, and then
Yeah.
parents get upset because, my aunt who lives in Oregon saw it before they did. Like,
Why
well,
don't they just join Facebook? Are they like against it?
yeah, they're against new technology.
Facebook's like 15 years old at this
Oh, I
point.
know, that's still new to them.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, we're going right now. Hi, Internet. How are you? Today I have with me Erin Villeneuve. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Close enough.
We're Twitter friends. I've never met her in real life.
No.
She's I want to say second American to ever be on the pod.
That's
So if you're watching this live, hit me up in the comments with anything you want me to ask an American, since it's so different in Canada and America. And I just want to point out this week that I'm using my sweet unicorn, I guess a Pegasus mug from the museum gift shop. It has nothing to do with old stuff, but my other mug's dirty.
What museum?
The Burnaby Village Museum. It's actually pretty dope. It's like an old-timey village that like is just makes it look like it's still running and stuff. And they have like a black shop and a bakery and everything. So it's pretty dope.
I want to go there. I'm a big museum nerd because in college I majored in art history.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I thought I was going to work in museums. And then when I moved back to Seattle, I got a job at the Museum of Flight, which is like a Boeing museum. It's like,
oh, that's cool.
Tons of airplanes, like World War I, World War II, really cool artifacts. And I met my husband there, and he actually still works there.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, we're kind of a museum family.
So can I get free tickets to go see some old ass planes if I come to Seattle?
Absolutely, you can. Yes, anytime.
You live in Seattle. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Gum wall, gross or cool?
It's so gross. It's disgusting. Like, it's in this alley kind of by the Pike Place Market. And when I worked downtown, we would sometimes cut through that alley, like going to lunch or whatever. And I would hold my breath because it was so bad. It's just really gross.
I went there in springtime, so it hadn't gotten too, because I've been to Pike Place a couple times, and we went to the gum wall, and we went in spring, so we didn't get that summer stank of the inside of everybody in Seattle's mouths from them putting their gum on the wall. So it was still kind of not smelly or whatever, unless I just don't notice that mouth smell or whatever. But I didn't notice a bad smell.
It's like a mouth smell, but combined with like spearmint and cinnamon and like all the different gum flavors, which makes it even worse.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if there wasn't spearmint and cinnamon and it was just like halitosis dirty mouth smell. That would be the worst.
And then it's also an alley, right? So you kind of have the like alley smell, like urine and garbage.
Oh, do you think people pee on the gum?
I mean, with the state of downtown right now, I would say maybe.
Definitely not going to eat any more gum out of that alley.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
All right. Do you want to talk about some stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, let's start off with what actually got you. You messaged me because you wanted to come on a couple weeks ago for Spitgate. And you're like, are you guys talking about Spitgate? Because I totally want to talk about it. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I couldn't believe you weren't on Spitgate Twitter. Because that was like, the algorithm was just showing me like, that's all I was seeing was Harry Styles and Chris Pine and all the mess from this premiere?
I think I diseased my algorithm with all my conspiracy searches, because now all I get is like left-wing versus right-wing political shit, and I don't get like the entertainment drama stuff, which I'm kind of okay with, but it would help the podcast a lot if I got like a chunk, unless it's something super big like the Little Mermaid thing we'll be talking about later. But actually, usually I get all my entertainment stuff off of Reddit. Yeah.
Is that a good source for entertainment news?
It is, because people love to complain on Reddit. It's funny because when we started this podcast, me and Derek were always like, Reddit's the promised land of social media. It's so nice. Everybody's so supportive. And it's now just like gone toxic and everybody hates everything. And it's like you'll join a subreddit of something you like say a podcast you like, and then it's just people bitching about the podcast. And you're like, wait, isn't this for people who like the podcast? Why are you complaining about it? And then, but Vancouver Reddit is is hell on earth. Like, if you think Vancouver Twitter's kind of toxic, Vancouver Reddit is like every bitter liberal arts degree to be like cliche about it. But it's just like all the people who moved to Vancouver because they thought they were going to like be rich doing arty stuff, and then they aren't, so they're bitter, and every time somebody says they do something that's not artistic, they get all butthurt and complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, that was me 20 years ago. I mean, I moved to Victoria thinking I was gonna major in, art history and work in a museum, and
well, you did
artsy shit. I don't do artsy shit anymore.
Yeah, I do this. I count this as art because it's creating something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I definitely don't make any money doing art stuff, which is kind of fine, because I did photography. I dabbled in that, and I was like a professional graphic designer. I made money for that, and it just kind of like made me hate the art thing.
Yeah.
So now I just do it in my free time whenever I want, and that way it doesn't feel like I have to do it, which
it's the arts world is, well, it's toxic, right? And it doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Like when I moved back to Seattle, and my first job was at the Seattle Art Museum, and I was making minimum wage, but there were people with advanced degrees with my same job making minimum wage, thinking that they, have an in, they have their foot in the door now, they're really going to make it now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of,
that's the other thing too, is like there's that thing where it's like you figure, like when we were growing up, because you're what, nearly the same age as me? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
You're not supposed to ask a lady her age.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say I'm 43.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're younger than me.
Yeah, I'm 40.
But people our age, remember when we were growing up, it was basically like if you get a degree, you'll have a good job. It was like the tail end of the American dream, where it's like our parents, they told them if they worked hard, they'd be fine. Whereas us, it was like, if you get a degree, then work hard, you'll be fine. So like I got a bachelor in journalism, and then I never really got a job in that. That's how I got the graphic design job in a newspaper. Ooh. But it was still like, I got that degree and I'm not rich or famous.
No.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, it's so you get like, that's one of the things why people are so bitter in the arts program, is because they got their degree and they want to be rich. They figured, it's like they figured, like I figured, we kind of juked the system where it's like, we got the degree, now we'll be rich, but it's a degree in arts, which is fun. So we're totally gonna like
fun. Oh, it was fun.
Yeah, we're totally gonna be like the people on TV that we like.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work out, and then some of us, I worked on mine. I don't really have a diseased ego anymore, where it's like you feel you failed. So anytime you see someone else with the arts, you kind of pick at them to make sure that they know their place or whatever. Which what they should have told us was get a degree, but make sure you're a very good salesman or woman, and yourself is the product, because when you do arts, like 70% of it is just making people want to buy your stuff. Not making stuff that's good enough to sell, but making people want to buy it, no matter how good or bad it is.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Ugh. I should have majored in something else. That's my biggest regret. But like I have a job. It's great. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the arts. It's pretty far removed from arts. But
What is it?
oh, I'm a paralegal.
Oh, that's better. That's like me. I'm a welder now, and it's like people like here. Whenever I tell people I'm a welder, they're like, "Oh, there's money in that." And you're like, "Well, not enough if I don't want to go to camp or go into the wilderness and almost die." Yeah.
Right. What do you weld?
Metal. Zing.
No.
No. So I work at a boom lift rental company. So it's this big company in Richmond, and they rent boom lifts.
Yeah.
And once a year they have to get inspected with non-destructive testing, so they'll just go over the whole thing and make sure there's no cracks, and then if there's cracks I grind them out and weld them, and then I build some parts, and then I build like shelving and stuff for the shop and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's all right. What do you paralegal?
I work for a outdoor sporting goods company.
Oh, fun.
So my boss is the general counsel. So I don't work for a law firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like the
in-house legal department.
Oh, crazy. For like, I didn't know, I would have never thought that a outdoor company would have in-house legal.
In-house legal. Well, we do, because people get hurt using our products or.
Oh, that's a good point.
Whatever. So there's insurance claims. There's some like athlete contracts, sponsorship type stuff that we deal with.
Do I know any athletes that are sponsored by your stuff? Or is it all like,
but I don't know their names off the top of my head.
Is it like rock climbers and shit that I don't know at all?
Not rock climbers. No.
Okay.
I don't want to say the name of the company.
No, I understand. Like weird, I also danced around saying my name, but
if you know any like people who do like famous, or I don't know.
No, because the whole point is there's no risk reward for this, because if you tell me, if you're like, do you know any famous people who do this outdoor sport? I won't know, or outdoor sport. I just won't know.
Yeah.
And you'll out yourself. So
right.
Like,
okay. No, it's a cool job. I like it.
That's good. Yeah. It's definitely nice to work for a company you like you're not just in some like scummy not scummy, but just like downtown lawyer firm that has questionable ethics, like everyone on TV, like the bad guys on TV.
Yeah.
Like the defending side.
Yeah. I've worked downtown before. I hated it. Like I had to take the bus from the suburb where we live downtown, and it was terrible. But now I work from home, and I really like that because I have a million children, and it enables me to like, make their lunch in the morning and
that's cool.
From school at whatever, whenever they need to be picked up, and then I can kind of make my schedule around that.
Okay. So now that I know you're a paralegal, does that make you like She-Hulk more or less?
I haven't seen She-Hulk.
Oh, okay. Because I like it, because I like all spirits, like all superhero stuff. But it's like when you watch a TV show based on your job, it either makes you like appreciate the subtle things other people won't, or hate it because they get stuff wrong.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Okay.
She's a lawyer?
Yeah. So she's a lawyer for superheroes. So she's like, she doesn't have a
counsel.
Yeah.
I love it.
And she does it as She-Hulk, like in her She-Hulk form. So it's cool because that does away with the whole like annoying thing where superhero shows are like my secret identity, where it's like everybody knows who she is.
Oh, okay. So what platform is that streaming on?
Disney Plus. It's a Marvel thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have Disney Plus. I just I don't.
Well, you have kids, so you should.
Yeah, but they monopolize the Disney Plus. I don't even log in. It's their login.
All right.
Yeah.
We were talking about Spitgate.
We were. Is this podcast just like tangent after tangent? It's
sub-name is Tangent Factory because I just go off. But whatever. We came back. We're still going to talk about Harry Styles and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, do you know what happened? Are you up on it now?
No, I don't. And I kind of do, but explain it because I know we have listeners who don't know what the fuck we're talking about. They probably don't even know what Spitgate is or that it was a thing.
Okay, it's complicated. So there's this new movie called Don't Worry, Darling. And it has a bunch of people in it. They all have beef. Spitgate is yeah. So Spitgate, they were at the Venice Film Festival.
Wait, who's in it that we would know?
Chris Pine, Harry Styles,
okay,
Olivia Wilde.
I like Olivia Wilde.
You like Olivia Wilde?
I do.
She's dating Harry Styles. Did you know that?
Wait, what happened to Sudeikis?
Oh my gosh, Dale.
I told you. I just get conspiracy stuff with my algorithm. I don't get the juicy hot goss.
No, they got divorced and he served her with papers while she was on stage.
When was that?
I don't know. I assumed you would have covered it.
Wait, when she was on stage for what?
No. Some comedy thing?
Oh, that sucks.
Is that track? No, but yeah, he served her papers. Apparently, I don't know. I don't want to say apparently. Maybe she cheated on him with Harry Styles.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
I would too. No, just kidding.
Are you gonna like? It's like the thing with equal rights is the women trade in their partners for younger, hotter models too. Doesn't matter that he won 1 million Emmys for fucking Ted Lasso and everybody won't shut up about it. And I haven't watched it because I don't have Apple TV.
You haven't watched Ted Lasso?
I don't have Apple TV. And those cheap fucks won't put it on anything else.
Oh, we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't love it.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I thought, everyone was hyping it up like, oh, it's so feel good. It's so cute. Didn't love it.
Is it like the humor is too pedestrian, like a Big Bang Theory type of thing?
No.
Or was it just like kind of like Wisconsin-y? Does that make sense when I say that?
It is too feel good. I don't like I don't like everything to be wrapped up in a bow at the end with a happy ending. I don't like that.
That's true. I also don't, but I also hate when they go the other way and they're just like, we don't know what's going on. Everything's crazy. What's going to happen next? Like, I like a happy medium where they're like, they tie up a lot of stuff at the end of the season, but they leave like a thread open for the next season.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. So going back.
Backing up.
When did Olivia Wilde and Sudeikis break up? Not exactly. Was this like a year ago, 6 months ago? Like, is this a fresh?
Do I need to Google this?
I can Google it if you want to continue explaining what happened.
Okay.
So you left off with Olivia Styles is dating
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde. Oh my God, if they have a baby, are they going to call it Wilde Styles? That would be awesome. They should get married and hyphenate their names.
What?
Dude, like if my last name was Wilde and I was dating someone Styles, I'd be like, I don't even care if I don't like you. We're getting married. We're hyphenating our names. So our last name's Wilde Styles.
Yes.
And we're going to start a fucking techno / b-boy group / beatboxing. And we're going to fucking take over the world.
I can get behind that.
That would be amazing.
Together. Like I do not like them together, but you just brought that up, made me think they need to have a child.
Yeah. Wait, what was I gonna say?
Okay, so
I totally just brain farted.
You were looking up when
Jason Sudeikis
broke up. It's
divorce.
Messy. Yeah.
Wild.
It's messy. And I think he served her with like, maybe it was child support papers or something. No.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Well, this was over a year ago.
Yeah, man.
There's an article. How did I miss this? Huh. Okay,
Don't
let's
know.
see.
But it's messy.
Okay,
Apparently it's messy.
It's like a year or so, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so she's with Harry Styles now.
Wait, has she been dating Harry Styles for a year?
It's been a while.
Fuck, I don't get any of this shit. How old is Harry Styles?
He's young.
I'm gonna Google that too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to keep interrupting you, but no promises.
Oh, this is important.
Yeah, because to me, he still seems like he's like 18.
Right.
1994.
Oh.
That's 28. Bam.
Okay, so he's not
so
a
fast.
child. And Olivia Wilde is what, like closer to 40?
Fucking beat up. Let me see. 84. So she's 10 years older than him. She's 38. I mean, she's still good looking. She still gets to be in movies because she's hot. So,
yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry
no. I mean,
for the male gaze on that.
Yeah. No. Who's the other Olivia? I always get her mixed up with.
So Olivia Wilde, Olivia Munn.
Yeah, that's the
Is that the one that's married to
the football player? The
Okay, that's
greasy
not one.
football player. No, maybe she just
That's not the
dated.
one I was thinking of.
Who's the one that dated the Green Bay quarterback?
Oh, Rogers?
Yeah, that
I
was
think that
Olivia
might be Munn.
Yeah. Are they still together?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Okay, keep going. Explaining Spitgate. So
the
there's
movie,
animosity on the what was the movie called again?
Don't Worry, Darling.
And why was there animosity there?
Oh my gosh. Well, I actually don't know the root of all the animosity. But I know that Olivia Wilde made some comments about Florence Pugh.
Pugh?
Pugh?
And is she in the movie or is she?
Yeah, she's in the movie.
Okay.
And so Olivia and Florence have beef.
Okay.
And of course, Harry, who's also in the movie, is Team Olivia.
Okay.
And then there's Chris Pine, who's kind of above it all.
Is he in the movie?
Yeah, man.
And he's not with Pugh?
What?
Is Pine with Pugh or no? Okay.
No.
I thought this might be like a double.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to say it's like a no, it's okay.
So there's Olivia Wilde, is it Florence Pugh?
Yeah.
Harry Styles and Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde, and I'm gonna guess, is Chris Pine Olivia Wilde's love interest, or did they make Harry Styles her love interest?
I haven't seen the movie. I've heard it's terrible.
It's a psychological thriller, so it's probably bad.
And it has like a 30-something on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here, I found it. 36 on Rotten Tomatoes for the overall. Oh, it's rated R. Mystery thriller.
I saw the preview for it when I went to go see Where the Crawdads Sing, and it looked good. I thought it looked like it would be something I would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But now with all the drama, the drama does make me want to see it more.
Mm-hmm.
The Rotten Tomatoes score being bad makes me want to see it more.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes when a Rotten Tomatoes score is bad, it means the movie's actually good. And pretentious interviewers are just dinks and didn't really get it.
Right. Okay, so they're at the Venice Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Florence, who's filming Dune 2, said she's
Dune 2.
just going to come for the red carpet because she doesn't want to have anything to do with Olivia Wilde. Like, she doesn't want to promote this film. They have beef. I don't really know why they have beef. I just know they do. So there's video of
I think Pugh has some weird stuff she does in real life or whatever. It might just. Do you think this is just like a diseased ego where she's just a hot up and comer and Olivia Wilde's on her way out because she's almost 40? Probably. And Hollywood is a terrible place that is not kind to aging women.
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I mean, it's a very plausible theory.
Mm-hmm.
But there is this scene, or not a scene, but it's just video of Chris Pine sitting next to Olivia Wilde. So it's Olivia Wilde, Chris Pine, and then an empty seat.
Yeah.
And Harry Styles comes to sit down in the empty seat, and there's video. I'm sure you've seen it by now.
I've seen the video, yeah.
Where it looks like he spits in Chris Pine's lap.
Yeah, because in the video, you can't see the spit, but Harry Styles is like unbuttoning his bottom button to sit down. Guys know this trouble. And then you just see him go like that. Like he's just
over.
And then Chris Pine goes and then wipes his lap.
I mean, had it not been for Chris Pine's reaction, I don't think nobody would have noticed. But something happened. He 100% spit on him. I think he did. I'm sorry.
I do too.
People are like, oh, Harry Styles, such an angel. He would never. But I think he did. He did.
I think the way Chris Pine reacted, because he was like, you motherfucker. And he like, because it looked like Chris Pine was going to react, but caught himself because he realizes he's in Hollywood. So he has to like play nice and get along with others so he could keep being and stuff. Because the best way to not be called back into more acting stuff is to not get along with other actors. So it looked like he was just like, what the?
But I'm like, I don't think he was trying to be nasty. I think maybe it was like an inside joke.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think he was doing it to be mean. I think it was an inside joke, and Chris knew that he couldn't react. Like, it looked like he was trying not to laugh, right?
That's true. Like, it could have been like a prank where it's like, oh, you motherfucker, you got me.
That's what I think it was. And then a few days later, when he's back giving his concert at Madison Square Garden, Harry Styles was like, you know, I took a break, went over to Venice. I had to spit on Chris Pine. Yeah. So like, he is being funny about it. He's being like self-referential about it, but he's not denying it. Makes me think it's an inside joke.
Yeah.
But this was all over the internet, and then Queen Elizabeth went and died. So
and ruined Spitgate for everyone.
Now we'll never get to the bottom of it.
So what would have been the motive for Harry Styles besides the practical joke we've already covered? Do you think it was Chris Pine was sitting beside Olivia Munn instead of in the empty seat? So Harry Styles couldn't sit beside Olivia Munn?
No, because it had his name on the seat.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Of this whole debate, I'm team Chris Pine because I'm not a huge fan of Styles. Chris Pine has a hilariously big head, so I like when he's in movies because he looks like a cartoon character. So I want him to make more Star Treks also.
My other thought would be if he was like, so if Chris is like, if he's siding with Florence in the girl drama that's going on between Olivia and Florence, maybe he's spitting on Chris for taking Florence's side. But that seems like a really shitty, childish thing to do. Like, why would you spit on?
I mean, Harry Styles is only 28. He's barely out of diapers at this point.
Like, I'm going to spit on someone who has not even the person who's disagreeing with my girlfriend, but the person who is, you know, on the side of the person who's having a disagreement with my girlfriend. That seems really shitty. I don't think he would do that. I think it was a joke.
Yeah, I'm down with you because the way Chris Pine reacted, and he was trying not to laugh, and it was like a, oh, you motherfucker, you got me laugh. So I think it was also like a joke.
Did you see the footage of someone interviewing Harry and Chris together? And Harry was like, the thing I love about this movie is that it really feels like a movie. And Chris Pine is just sitting there, and you can see his will to live is just leaving his body.
Yeah, he's like, I fucking had to go to acting school for 100 years, and this guy just walks in because he's good looking.
Yeah. He was like, he was not having it. It was really funny, but that's so then like on Twitter, a lot of brands, you know, they always jump on the train like too late. They're like, oh, the thing I love about it is that it feels like, I don't know. The thing I love about Diet Coke is that it really tastes like Diet Coke or something.
Oh shit, Chris Pine is my age. He's 42.
Is he really?
He's born in 1980.
He looks
I didn't
great
know
for his
that.
age. I
Oh
would
yeah.
never thought he was that old.
Yeah, when you just rub millions of dollars on your face every day, it makes you age gracefully.
He was in Princess Diaries.
Was he? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see that. Oh, wait, did I see that? That's the one with Anne Hathaway, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw that. Was that his first movie?
I don't know. That came out in like early 2000s.
Yeah, because
That's
that was when I was working at Blockbuster, and I pretty much watched any movie that came out because streaming
yeah,
services weren't around back then.
right.
So yeah, when you used to work at a video store, all the movies would come out on Tuesdays, but they would come in for the weekend on Friday so that
Oh,
you'd have a chance to like label them and enter them all into your inventory. And as an employee, you were allowed to take them out as long as they were already processed and you return them on Monday night so they could be put on the shelf. So it would
oh,
be like you would just grab all the movies if you worked Friday and then watch them over the weekend. And
oh.
that's why I watched Princess Diaries, guys. The only reason.
The only thing. It's a good movie. Julie Andrews is in it.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, you have to deal with Anne Hathaway, but actually, it's weird because Anne Hathaway, I'm coming back around on her because
Yeah.
when she was really young, I was like, she's all right. And then everybody was like acting like she was like the hottest thing ever. And I'm like, she's not really that hot. Like, she's like Julia Roberts hot, where she just has this big mouth and you're like,
Yeah.
it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then she was in that movie, that comedy a while back, and then like Date Night. No, she wasn't in Date Night. Anyway, she's been in a couple comedies lately. I'm like, all right, I like her again. Oh, Witches, she was good in.
Oh, yeah, Witches.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Speaking of live action remakes of childhood cartoons, there's a lot of people very upset 3 years after we all knew it was going to happen that Ariel from the Little Mermaid live action remake is actually an African American girl named Haley Berry, who's not Haley Berry. That's the thing that
Is
bugs
it
me.
Haley Bailey or Haley? What's her
Oh,
name?
you're probably right.
It's like, hey, it's very similar.
Yeah, I think it is Haley
Haley.
Bailey. Haley Bailey. Yeah, it is. It's Haley Bailey.
Okay.
You're right. I'm an idiot. I'll
Okay,
openly
so
admit it.
no. Here's my first thing about this is that
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people online complaining about people complaining that she's Black. I have not actually seen anyone actually complaining that she's Black.
This is a thing that comes up. Like we talk about this on the podcast a lot, where
Yeah.
it's like people will preemptively complain about people who are complaining when they aren't complaining. Like if I go on Twitter and I'm like, I can't believe people are complaining about the Little Mermaid being Black.
Right.
They're so stupid because it's like virtue signaling because it makes me look like I'm super good and accept all races of people as being mermaids and I don't care
Right.
what color they are. So it preemptively gives me virtue because I'm fighting against something that's kind of wrong. But you're right. I don't like we also don't really go on far right or old people Twitter where I think some people would complain. I haven't seen too many people complain, but I have seen the same argument from a couple weeks ago from the new Lord of the Rings show because
Oh,
that has an African American elf as one of the main characters.
people
And
complain about that?
well, it's the same thing as the Little Mermaid, where it's like most people are just upset because they're changing something. And it's like it's not even that they're upset with the race. It's just like, I don't know. It's like if you change the car in a movie to something else or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I'm just like saying subconsciously why they might be more upset. And there are genuine racists out there who probably don't like it. But I feel at
Oh,
this point, the genuine racists kind of learn to not say stuff out loud on Twitter and social media because they keep losing their jobs and stuff.
right.
And then there's the like, well, technically pedantic people who say stuff like, well, elves would be white because they are described as having fair skin, or like some people with the Little Mermaid, they're like, well, she lives underwater, so she wouldn't be darker skin because the dark skin came as an evolutionary trait from dealing with direct sunlight to protect you from the the ultraviolet
Well,
rays.
and technically, wouldn't she be like iridescent or
Yeah,
something, like a
she would. She'd
fish?
be like see-through and gross.
Right.
And she would have fish eyes instead of human eyes. But it's like the
Yeah.
thing is, it's like it's a mermaid. Like
Right.
the biggest surprise would be that she wouldn't have like fish markings, like have blotches and
Yeah.
camouflage or something. Like
Right.
if like it would be cool if they like did makeup where her belly was lighter than her back, like how most fish are, because
Real fish.
when you look down on a fish, they're dark, so they blend in with the bottom. But when you're under a fish and you look up, they're light, so they blend in with the lighter water above them.
So, as the mom of
Mm-hmm.
an 8-year-old girl
Mm-hmm.
who loves Disney, loves all the princesses, I can tell you that she does not give two shits what color Ariel is, what
Yeah.
kind of markings she has, what color her hair is, what color her, anything is. All she cares is that one, she's pretty, and
Mm-hmm.
two, she can sing
Yeah.
because that's that's what sells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most normal people care.
Yeah, I don't see very many people, like you said before, like I don't think a lots of people are actually complaining about it. I think it's just bunch of people taking advantage and jumping on a soapbox to preemptively announce how good they are.
So
My
who's
concern with it is I
yeah,
watched the trailer and
yeah.
my umbrage is the shape of her tail, because it's longer for some reason. So she has this longer tail than she did in Little Mermaid, and she has
Mhm.
like 4 fins on her tail that look like a guppy tail. So it just like it doesn't look like the mechanics will work right when she's swimming. And I was like, why is it so billowy? She's not gonna have enough speed to cut through the water and stuff. But that's
If
like that's
only
totally
there
a
was a
Dale
real
pedantic
mermaid.
argument.
Yeah, I mean, if only there was a real mermaid we could
Yeah,
model
right.
after,
Let's find a real mermaid, see what she looks like.
Yeah,
I guess the closest comparison was manatees, because that's what they say sailors thought were mermaids, were what
really.
actually manatees, because they're just
Manatees?
fucking
They're
half
cute.
drunk with bad eyesight and stuff. I guess I have no idea how you'd think a manatee was
A
part
woman.
woman. Yeah, it's
Yikes.
terrible.
Yikes. Hmm.
Definitely yikes.
Interesting. Do we know who's playing Prince Eric?
Um,
Is
pro
it Harry Styles?
it's Chris Pine and his giant head. Uh, Little Mermaid cast. Like the cast was announced in 2019. Oh, I remember there was a big thing about who Ursula was, because
Oh,
they wanted someone else to be. Oh no, wait, what the fuck is this? 2020.
I think it should be a member of BTS.
Okay, wait. There was a Oh, weird. It says Little Mermaid, it's dates it as 2020. Has this been done for 2 years?
No, there was a live action Little Mermaid on like NBC or something.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it
And
wasn't a movie.
Haley Bailey was Little Mermaid in that too. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Fuck, that's annoying. There we go. Little Mermaid 2023. Um, so we got her eyebrows look weird. Like she has some weird dents in her eyebrows. I'm just saying that because
That's
the main
mermaid
picture,
canon.
I guess, maybe that's like part of her gills. Where is the cast? So Haley Bailey,
Haley
Melissa
Bailey.
McCarthy is Ursula. I'm not mad at
Oh,
that.
that'd be good.
Uh, Jonah Huare King is Prince Eric, and I don't know who this guy is. I'm going to tell you what he was in. Oh, he's a handsome guy. He was in World on Fire.
Hmm,
Let's see, what was the last thing? He was in Safe Word. There's a short.
never heard of it.
This is the Night.
Is he hot? Can you see his picture?
Yeah, he's hot.
Okay. Well, that's
He's
important.
he was in World on Fire as a TV show. He was Harry Chase. Yeah, he's
He
not been in
Does he
much.
look like the cartoon Prince Eric? Does he have like dark swoopy hair.
Wait, wasn't Prince Eric blonde?
Nope.
Oh no, I'm thinking Pocahontas. He has like a short cut tight. It's like kind of that half curly thing, so it's not swoopy. But he does have black hair. He does have dimples.
Ooh.
So that's good.
And he's white?
He is white.
Oh, okay. I was hoping he would be like one of those K-pop boys and make everyone mad.
Okay, I have umbrage. I have racial umbrage because Little Mermaid's dad is white. They should have just made them the same race. I'm just joking.
They cast? Wait, no.
Javier Bardem is King Triton. That's her dad, right?
Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
King Triton. Javier Bardem is Spanish.
Yeah, he is.
So they should have cast a Latina.
Who's Queen Selena from Little Mermaid? Is that Little Mermaid's mom?
Maybe.
Okay, she's black, so that makes sense, right?
Okay.
We're back on track. We're good.
We're back on track.
Okay. I don't know who these people are. Karina, Perla.
Oh, those are her sisters, I think.
Okay.
She has a bunch of sisters. They do a whole thing. They're like a singing group, and then Ariel always disappears.
Okay, because
the surface.
One of them is super white and one of them's racially ambiguous. So I guess they kind of got all the races for them.
Is what's the little crab? What's his name?
Sebastian?
Is he gonna be a live person?
No, it's gonna be a CGI character. That's gonna be Daveed Diggs.
That's a missed opportunity.
Who's Scuttle?
Scuttle is the seagull.
Oh, that's gonna be Aquafina, which is
okay.
And then
isn't there a fish?
Flounder.
That's
Jacob Tremblay, who just looks like a kid actor. I've never seen this guy before. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other names. I'm pumped that Melissa McCarthy's Ursula, though. That's good casting.
That's good casting.
I think there was kind of like drama because it was going to be Queen Latifah as Ursula because they had originally cast Little Mermaid like in 2015 or something. Like they were going to make it and then they didn't end up making it. So they recast, obviously, because you can't have someone who's old be Ariel. And then I think that's when Melissa McCarthy got cast as Ursula.
Okay.
Or was it because that... I'm just going to check if the 2020 thing we're talking about. No, she was in that as well.
I feel like I heard something about them wanting to cast a drag queen as Ursula.
Oh, really? Yeah. That would have been recent, though.
Yeah. Like a famous one.
Okay. There was a Little Mermaid Live.
Yeah.
And that had an African American Ursula.
Who?
I don't know who that is.
Queen Latifah?
I don't know. It has a picture of her. It doesn't say her name, though. Here, let me see. I'll click on the Newsweek article and it will tell us. This is riveting stuff.
It's important. You're doing the important work.
Oh, it was Queen Latifah.
Okay.
As Ursula. So that's what it was. This was in 2019 as an ABC musical.
How confusing to do a live musical and then to do a live action movie. Like,
I know, right?
They just do one.
I
mean, there's a bunch of other. Are they remaking every Disney film as a live action now?
I think they are because I think it's a licensing thing where it's if you don't make a movie with that title for, I think it's got to be like 15 years. Like this is why they keep remaking Spider-Mans and Fantastic Fours. Yeah. Because you start the licensing, you buy the licensing or something, and it's like super expensive. And then to renew it, it's not as expensive. So that's why like Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer was kind of subpar. And then that one with the newer Fantastic Four movie that everybody hated, they kind of just reskinned a different movie and made it a Fantastic Four movie and just put it out so they could keep the franchise of Fantastic Four. That was Fox who owned that. So Disney is redoing all their movies so that they could keep it. Because it was like, remember when they used to just put them in the vault?
Yes.
And then they would release them. And then they would release them like once every 15 years. They would re-release the same movie, but that was like a same loophole, hold the licensing fee for that. Because since it was considered a new release, since they took it off and it was re-released, then they could keep, like, that's what happened with Little Mermaid the first time around. Like, they released it and then they took it off the shelves and you couldn't buy it anywhere. And then they'd be like, straight from the Disney vault. And then
remember that. That was a really genius marketing ploy because there was this family I used to babysit for, and the mom was like, I think now we would consider her a Disney adult, but that wasn't a term back then. But she would buy like every time a movie was released from the Disney vault, she would buy it for her kids because she's like, they're gonna be too old the next time it's released, and she wants them to enjoy it while they're little.
Did she buy
would, like, them before the kids were even, like, anytime it came out?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, she's one of those people like, oh, announcement, I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm telling you this because I'm gonna on purpose buy toys for the baby. I'm gonna buy action figures for my son or daughter when they're older.
That's my house with the number of Hot Wheels I have in my house.
That's hilarious. I just saw Hot Wheels. Sorry, go ahead.
Box in the garage, like one of those like huge boxes, plastic boxes, full of Hot Wheels in their original packaging that my son is not allowed to play with.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say I was just at the grocery store today, and they're done this like special release of Hot Wheels, and it's all vans with like fake airbrushing on the side, and there's like Jurassic Park ones, and there's like Avengers ones, and there's one from the movie. Speaking of Disney movies, what was that? What was the Disney movie or the Pixar movie where they were like trolls and they're trying to find magic? And they
Onward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels has released the official Onward van that the older brother drove, and it has like the unicorn on the side and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you buy it?
I was this close to buying it, but I was like, whatever. Hot Wheels, $2, I'll buy it. And I looked at the price and it was $6, and I was like,
specialty ones are so expensive. Although I did buy all the Muppets Hot Wheels when they came out.
Nice.
That was relevant to my interests. But yeah, my husband and son, they collect all the like European Hot Wheels. So not European, but like European cars.
Okay. Here's a Hot Wheels question. Do they poo-poo the fake Hot Wheels stuff? Because it's like Hot Wheels will have real cars, and then they'll have just like cartoony style, like whatever cars.
My husband does, but my 4-year-old son doesn't. Because usually those are the ones that go really fast on the track. They're more aerodynamic.
Have you seen the TikTok Hot Wheels videos where there's I don't know how many people are doing it, but I've seen a couple different TikTokers. They'll set up a Hot Wheels track and they'll get them going so fast that they'll punch through the drywall and stick into the wall.
Oh, Don't let
your 4-year-old watch those videos because you'll come home to Hot Wheels sticking into your walls.
I would too. Yeah, I'm not on Hot Wheels TikTok, but maybe I should be. Need to get my algorithm.
My TikTok algorithm is all over the place.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's funny because I'll get like that, and I'll just get like the weirdest shit on it. And it's funny because it's like one of my favorite new things to do is algorithm comparisons. So on TikTok, I'll be like, get my friend, I'm like, send me your first 5 For You page TikToks.
Okay.
And it'll be something, and I'll send them my top 5, and they'll be like, dude, what the fuck is going on with your For You page? It's all this like weird semi-horror, like dark stuff. And their stuff is like military stuff, like guys shooting guns and fast cars and stuff. And it's funny because it's like even my algorithm doesn't think I'm like machismo man and just gives me weird stuff instead of gun stuff.
Okay, mine is like baking. So just like someone making cookies or something, or like a recipe. Like a stay-at-home mom, like a day in the life. But it's always not realistic. It's like the mom who gets up at 5 and works out before her kids wake up and does 2 loads of laundry and cleans the kitchen and then makes the perfect lunch. And yeah, it's not realistic. And then like makeup or I got a lot of the Alabama sorority rush girls.
Like sexy sorority rush or just like getting drunk?
I mean, they're 18, so I don't know.
That might be my porn algorithm.
No, these girls, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. Alabama Rush TikTok, where
I've never heard of it.
Well, you guys don't have Greek life in Canada, do you?
I mean, I'm sure there's people who sodomize each other.
No. Like fraternities and sororities at universities.
Oh, I think some of the schools here do, but our whole like Canada college is like nothing like the States.
Because I went to UVic, so I know.
Yeah, UVic is one of the biggest schools in our country.
Yeah.
It's probably
the best. Go Vikes.
I wouldn't say the best, but it's obviously one of the biggest. It's probably either maybe the second biggest in BC.
Probably.
Maybe behind UBC, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then there's probably some bigger in Ontario and Quebec, but that's it. So it's UVic is probably
since I was there 20 years.
Yeah. It's probably top 5 colleges in Canada, top 10 for sure. So you can compare that to colleges in the States.
Yeah.
That are probably just massive.
Well, I guess, in the beginning of the school year, these kids who want to be in a fraternity or a sorority, they go through Rush, right? They visit all of the different houses. So anyway, in Alabama, University of Alabama, I guess it's a thing where the girls will get on TikTok and be like, this is my outfit of the day. And they just talk about what they're wearing. And so then people get invested with all these characters, I guess you could call them.
So it's like Alabama sorority housewives, Real Housewives of Alabama sororities.
Yes. And there's this one her name's Kylan, and she has like a tagline and everything, which is like, hey y'all, hope you're having a great day, not just a good day. And she says that in every video.
I hate it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, but that's, for some reason I got on that side of TikTok. And yeah, I need to get on Hotwheels talk. Mom talk. Did you follow the mom talk drama? The Utah Mormon moms, the swingers?
Wait, you're like swingers or sister wives?
Oh, they were swingers.
Ew.
I know.
I mean,
it kind of tracks, but it's there was this all these moms that would make TikToks together, and then like the leader of the group, they were swinging with each other, and then
like the girls were scissoring, or they were doing each other's husbands.
Yeah, doing each other's husbands. And then I don't know, apparently things got out of hand, and then it was a mess.
The reason why we don't do swing clubs and we don't fuck each other's wives and husbands is because we'll just end up killing each other, because nobody can handle it, because it just makes us crazy. Like the reason, like this is one of those one of those things in the Bible that isn't just to like keep us from having fun. It's like somebody way back realized that if you just go around fucking everybody, somebody's going to beat your head in with a rock. So they made a rule for it just to save you from yourself.
Save you from yourself.
Like if I was a dude, I am a dude, I guess. If I had a wife and some dude who's obviously hotter than me started effing my wife and she was okay with it, I would just kill him. I'd be like, look,
if she was
you
okay
can't
with
do that.
it, you were okay with it.
No, why would I be okay with that?
Kind of like Mormon mom swinger TikTok. I don't know. It's just messy.
Yeah.
It
It's
seems messy.
funny because you think Mormons would be more like religiously staunch and not into that sort of stuff, but then you get into like Mormons are polygamy's almost baked into the religion because the people who founded it were like scumbags.
I think there's also the element of like when you get married when you're 18 or 19.
Oh
and
yeah.
You're like, you're repressed. And so by the time you're 30, you're like getting into some really weird shit.
Yeah, like you haven't sown your wild oats or anything, and you just pushed it to the back burner. See, yeah, I'm thinking about this like a 43-year-old who swinging just seems like twice as much work, and I just want to go home after the party. I don't want to have to like do all that other stuff. But if I was like in my early 30s and I'd been married since I was 18 to like the first person I ever had sex with, I would definitely be down with swinging. And then I would get my head beat in with a rock probably.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would suggest people wait till they're ready to get married. I mean, for me, I've never thought that there needs to be like a specific age for getting married. I think you just have to be emotionally ready to be married before you get married.
Are you married? You're not married.
No, I'm not emotionally ready. No, it's just joking. It's just once you pass a certain age, you just think of marriage as a bill and you're like, well, I don't have enough money to get married right now, so we'll just wait.
Really?
Well, yeah, because in Canada, after you've been living together for 6 months, you're common law.
What?
So for taxes and everything, you're like married anyway. Like Andrea's all my taxes. And for all intents and purposes, besides a sheet that says we're married. Like all the legal stuff.
Yeah.
Since we're common law.
That's interesting because in the United States, a big reason to get married, or not, I shouldn't say that it's a big reason to get married. That sounds terrible. But we have health insurance to think about. Yeah. And so, like, I have a friend who, with COVID, had to cancel her wedding, but they had a courthouse wedding because she needed to get on her husband's health insurance.
See, Andrea's on my health insurance because we're common law. Oh, yeah, because I remember somebody saying why that was such a big deal for gay marriage in the States was because it was for healthcare stuff. Like if you were a gay couple for 20 years, but you weren't married and your like boyfriend got in a serious car accident, you couldn't go see him in the hospital because it was family only. But if you're married, you could.
Yeah.
I wonder how that works up here.
I don't know. I just know it's depending on where you work, you have like better or worse or cheaper or more expensive healthcare and like the health insurance that you pay every month. And sometimes it's better to get married.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So
I have some healthcare questions about the US because I'm Canadian. Well, actually, Derek, the usual co-host of this podcast, who had a preemie baby with his American wife. So I've asked her a lot of questions.
Yeah.
What was it? I was trying to
think. My first thought when I saw they had a preemie and they were in the middle of fucking nowhere was like, oh my God, how much is that going to cost for them to like get to? I know, but that was my first thought. How fucked up is that?
Yeah. Well, as an American,
where can I donate to their GoFundMe?
Yeah. Wait, you're in Seattle. Here's a question. How much income tax do you get taken off your check? Rough percentage.
Income tax?
Yeah. That just comes straight off before you see it.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Because up here, it's like over 20% of
I
your
was
paycheck
gonna
just goes
guess
straight to the
20%.
government.
I was gonna guess 20%, but I guess I don't really know. I should look.
Yeah, because that's basically how we pay for our healthcare. And then we have up here, we have it. It's weird because you guys have health insurance, right?
Mhm.
So we have health insurance up here. So it's basic healthcare is covered.
Right.
That's like major stuff. But anytime we need like specific surgeries or elective surgeries or prescription refills and stuff, we pay for that unless we get insurance. So we still have private health insurance up here, but that's just kind of like a top up to our free healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We I know we do have free healthcare for, really poor people, but otherwise you have to have a job. So like where it kind of screws you over is like if you're a one income family. So when we were I guess during COVID I wasn't working because my kids were home and doing school online. It was a mess. But my husband was working. We were paying for our family of 5. We were paying $1,200 a month for health care. And that came off the top of his check. And then we still had to pay co-pays, doctor visits, prescriptions and stuff on top of that. So insurance will cover a portion, but they won't cover everything. With me not working, I was like, well, shit, that's a lot of money for a one family to be paying $1,200 a month for healthcare. So I was looking into seeing if there was any assistance or whatever, just until I went back to work. There's not, because we made too much.
Okay.
We made too much to qualify for help, but it was still a big chunk of our budget.
Sounds like your husband has a really good paying job, or is it not that high of a threshold?
I shouldn't say no. I mean, he works for a nonprofit.
Okay. But like when you say he makes too much money to get assistance and stuff, that's not like he makes $300,000 a year. It's like the threshold to be too much is low.
The threshold to be, it was low, but it was still, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the government thought we made too much, but we didn't feel like we made too much. We felt like $1,200 a month was a lot.
That is a lot. And I feel like the government thinks everybody makes too much. Like, you make too much. You should just give some of that to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Healthcare is messed up here. I don't know. But I mean, we can go to a doctor though. I know you guys have like a doctor shortage or something.
Oh yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, oh, we're doing this thing now. Like, I just signed up to get on to a waiting list for a family doctor. Like, we have walk-in clinics where you could just like walk in, and then there's emergency that's at a hospital that you could just go to a hospital and be seen. But you could get a family doctor who like keeps track of all your shit and what's broken.
Yeah.
But now it's like I got on a waiting list and they say they have a question where it's like, do you want a licensed practicing nurse to play the role as your family doctor? Instead, if you want an actual family doctor, it said your wait will be significantly longer. So I was like, yeah,
how
sure.
long? Like how long? A year?
Oh, probably years.
Oh my god.
Multiple. Yeah. I don't know.
I had to make an appointment with a doctor recently, and I went online. I looked it up. Did they take my insurance? Yes. I called, and this was a new doctor for me because my old doctor retired. And they were like, you can come in 2 weeks. And I said, yes. Boom. Had the appointment. Everything was great.
Oh yeah. For me to make that same appointment would probably be a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if you're like, oh, my arm hurts, I think there might be like a chronic disease or something, it'll take a while. But if you're like, because for me to see the sleep specialist, because I have sleep apnea now, like this was before I knew, because I had to like go to a walk-in clinic, and I was, because you need to go to a specialist, you need a referral. So I was like, I need a referral to go see a sleep specialist. And it took me like a week to get the appointment with the walk-in.
Yeah.
And then once I got that, it was like I want to say maybe a month and a half to see the sleep specialist. And then they sent me home with this thing you put on your finger, and then they test the oxygen in your body when you're asleep or whatever. And then like how many times in the night you stop breathing. And then they're like, yeah, that happens. And then another month and a half after that, I saw the specialist about the results.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we're going to start you on a machine. So like 2
is
weeks
that
after.
like a mask
Yeah.
thing?
Well, I have one that's like,
sleep?
yeah, it comes underneath. So it's just like a tube that goes like this and goes up, and then the hose comes out the top. And what it does is it gives constant pressure in my nose as I'm sleeping. And then if I stop sleeping, like the pressure builds up, and then it just forces air in. Because with sleep apnea, what happens is you just stop breathing, and then
that's scary.
Your heart spikes, and then you get like all this, like your blood gets deoxygenated, and you're not like getting enough rest and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I snored super bad. Then because every time you like do that, you kind of stop breathing for a bit, and then you snort a whole bunch. And yeah. My girlfriend loves this fucking sleep apnea machine because I don't snore anymore.
Is the machine quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Is it noise?
It's very like, I got like, it costs like $2,500. Most of it was covered for my extended healthcare. But it's super quiet. And I know there are loud ones you can buy because people were like, you might have to drown it out with the fan. But like I sleep with a fan, so it's mostly drowned out anyway, but you can't really hear it. For me, it's loud because it's like when you're snorkeling and you're breathing into the tube and it goes up past your ear, you can kind of hear it. That's what it's like for me. So it's kind of loud just because I'm breathing into the thing that's on my head.
So do you have to bring it with you when you travel?
Yeah.
Is it huge? Like how big is it?
No, it's like this big.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's this big, and then it just plugs in, and then it has a hose that comes out. So what it is, it has a little water reservoir, and it's basically just a pump that pumps air that's moisturized, like from the water reservoir, so it's not pushing dry air and drying out your lungs or whatever.
Like a humidifier, like straight up your nose. Nice.
Mm-hmm. It just shoots into your nose. Wow, we've gone through two. That was a bigger tangent than the Spitgate tangent we went on.
I know.
Oh, since you're an American, this is a good one.
Yes.
Let's talk about. Wait, do you have? I sent you all these. Is there one that you like more than others, or
the DeSantis one?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, because we talked about the first half of this last week with Wesley.
Yeah.
But DeSantis upped the whole, because what we talked about last week was Abbott from Texas was sending immigrants on buses to New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. And DeSantis fucking just said, hold my beer, and he loaded up a plane with 50 immigrants and sent it straight to Martha's Vineyard. And me, as a person outside of the country, I fucking love this. I am all for this.
Why?
Send all these immigrants to all these fucking like Democrats who are like, we love all of these people, bring them. And they're like, yeah, okay, you're not a border city. Guess what? You're getting some of these now. And last week I tried to say that it is bad to treat these immigrants like they're sort of pawns in some like vindictive game. But at the same time, if you're a Guatemalan and you're leaving Guatemala because of political strife or whatever reason they're leaving, and you get to Texas and they're like, or I mean Florida, because DeSantis is from Florida. If you get there and then he's like, hey, you want to go on a private jet? You're like, fuck yeah, I do. And they're like, do you want to go to Martha's Vineyard? And you're like, that's where the rich people live? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, fuck yeah, I do. Send me to Martha's Vineyard. And then they get flown there. Yeah. And then they made this big show about like the whole neighborhood pooled their resources and
Yeah.
they got them food. And then 24 hours later, they just sent them somewhere else.
Where did they send them?
I'm not sure, but
Like,
it's like, it's still a developing story
Martha's
because
Vineyard. That's in Massachusetts, right?
I think so.
I think so.
You're
And
the one who's supposed to know that because you're American.
Martha's Vineyard, I don't know. All those fancy East Coast places. I don't know.
Who the fuck is Martha anyway?
It's not
Oh,
Martha's
Woods
Vineyard.
Hole. Okay, I'm pulling it up on a map.
Okay.
That's taking a while to load. Where the fuck? Newport. Is that Connecticut?
Newport, isn't that Rhode Island?
Okay, so Martha's Vineyard is it's a little island that's is
He sent
Providence?
them to an island.
Wait, what the fuck? Okay, I don't know what state this is, but it's like what's Providence in?
Rhode Island.
Oh no, wait, it's not in Rhode Island. It might be. It's Massachusetts. Boston's Massachusetts,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, what's Nantucket?
Massachusetts.
Yeah, okay, it's Massachusetts. So
Okay.
it's in between New Bedford, which is on the mainland, and in between Nantucket. So it's this little island where all the rich people live.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they sent them there. Wow, there's 2 airports there. Sorry, getting distracted.
I think it's real shitty to treat them like cargo.
It is, but I feel like because the whole reason this started, I went over it last week, but if you didn't watch last week, what happened was during COVID, there was like, what was it, like Bill 42 or something, where the states were allowed to just turn people back at the border, be like, sorry, COVID, we're full, get out of here, you can't come in. And then Biden, when they're lifting all the restrictions, he got rid of that.
Okay.
So what happens is the immigrants come to the border and they're like, we would like to be part of your great country.
Right.
And then the Americas is like, maybe, I guess, come here, give me your phone number. We'll look into your backstory. We'll send it to a judge and see if you're allowed to stay here. And what's happening now is while they're waiting to hear back from the judge, they're just allowed to go into the country. And so Abbott, the guy from Texas, and the guy from Arizona were like, well, do we just have to deal with these people now? Well, if the Democrats are the ones who did this, yeah. Like, I get why Abbott would be like, we don't want, because it's not just like the few Mexicans who want to come in. It's just like this, like those convoys or whatever that used to happen. So it's people from like Guatemala coming up and going to Texas. Yeah, because that's just like the land border and stuff. So they were like, well, if the Democrats are making it easier for the immigrants to come in, we're just going to send these immigrants to Democratic cities. And that's what Abbott was doing with the buses. And they were being like, do you want to go on a bus? And a lot of the immigrants, what they were doing was they would say they want to go on the bus. And then before it got to New York or whatever, they just get off somewhere along the way because they had family somewhere.
I mean, I think the optics is really shitty, but honestly, they're probably going to have more support and more resources in blue states than red states.
Yeah, because there's going to be a saturation point for the immigrant support system in Texas, and it's probably lower than it would be if it was in a blue state, like you said. But like, if you want to have more immigrants because you need more labor or you just need more people in your country, you'd figure you'd want them spread out. So
I would think so.
Yeah. Like, I like it. It is bad, like you said, because it is sort of treating these people to make a point as not. It's like objectifying the immigrants. But at the same time, it's good to send them to like New York and Chicago, because these people are making legislative decisions without really understanding the full impact of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's good for them to have to deal with the repercussions of these laws that they're passing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has any made it up to your way in Washington?
I think so. I think so. I know on the eastern side of the state, there are a lot of jobs for immigrants.
Yeah.
In the, apple orchards and whatnot.
Untrained labor.
Yes. Is that what we're calling it? Is that the
Yeah, because
term?
I know up in Canada we're having like kind of an untrained labor shortage. Are you having the same thing down there where it's just like
I
nobody?
feel like it's a labor shortage everywhere.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. Like if you're having a genuine labor shortage and these immigrants can work these jobs because they don't need to be specialized, then that's another argument to have them kind of spread out through the country.
Yeah, I think they should. But I also think, I don't know who is lying to these people and telling them that they should come here because it's going to be, baskets of kittens and roses and,
Well, I
not.
think what it is just like Guatemala, not to judge a country harshly, but obviously if people are walking through countries just to get to the States, Guatemala must be shit. And I think a lot of the time, like you hear, like, even if you just come to the States and you make minimum wage picking apples, to them, that's more wealth than they could have hoped to make in Guatemala. And I know, like my brother-in-law, he's on a dairy farm and they have 2 laborers come from Mexico and they love it because they come up here and they're making like 18, 20 bucks an hour Canadian, which is like $5 American. I don't know what I don't know what the currency rate is, but they love it because they just make money. They keep enough to live and then they just send it back to their families. And then their families are just like living all high on the hog back in Mexico.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah, he came here on a visa. So
on a museum visa?
No. It's actually like a pilot training visa.
Oh, dope. What, your guy is a pilot?
No, he didn't finish.
He was like, I like old stuff more.
Museum.
That makes sense why he's at the aviation museum.
Yeah, I don't know how many hours short he was of finishing, but
can he fly stuff?
Yeah, I think he can fly, the small like
Cessnas.
Yeah, but I mean it's been years. I mean, yeah, we don't have a plane or anything.
I'd imagine it's probably pretty expensive to just go F around for a couple hours and fly a plane too.
Yeah, but we go down to Mexico occasionally to visit family and whatnot. And
oh, cool.
Just the poverty that you see there. It's incredibly sad. Like he's from Mexico City. So
oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's parts of the city where the poverty is it's so sad. And we brought the kids last summer and one of my kids is really sensitive and these beggars in the street or they have kids with them and she's like, why aren't the kids in school? Or like, why are they making their kids sell candy on the street corner? And it's just so sad. And I can see why they'd want to come here and have the opportunities and the education and everything. But I don't think we should be lying to them and telling them that, it's an easy road.
Yeah.
It's not. And at least, a good portion of the country doesn't want you here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say half, but, a lot of people who are against it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard to get a segue out
Segue
of
into
this.
something better. What else do we got?
Okay, so we're at an hour and 15. So what we'll do is I'm doing this thing where it's like a quick hit. We'll just wrap up all the other topics that I had sent you, but we won't talk for 3 hours about like we did for Spitgate. And we'll try to keep this one on the rails, no promises.
I'll try.
Okay, so do you know what Wegmans is?
It's a
Wegmans?
grocery store, right?
Yeah, it's in the States. I've never heard of it. So they're ending their self-checkout app. So what they did was their brilliance was they thought nobody was thieves. And they're like, what we're going to do is as you're shopping, you can scan stuff with your phone, put it in your cart, and then that way you can just leave without having to go through a cashier. And they're like, nobody's going to steal from us. But now there's like, okay, people were shoplifting way too fucking much. We're not doing this app anymore.
That makes sense. Although that sounds like the Amazon Fresh stores we have here in Seattle, where it's like contactless. And it just connects to your Amazon account and it knows what you're putting in I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's probably takes away the chance to steal because everything's automatic. Whereas this was like, if you just put it in your cart without scanning it, nobody would know.
Oh.
Like the Amazon one kind of scans everything as you're leaving, doesn't it?
I think so.
Was there like RFS tracers on every apple?
I don't know. I've never been to one. I've just heard about it.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that's probably all just like the apples are in a package.
Although with self-checkout, I do steal bags. I do not pay for bags on the self-checkout.
Do you guys sell plastic bags?
Yeah, it's 8 cents per bag. I don't pay for that. It says, how many bags did you use today? I'll always say 0. I'm not paying for bags.
Sorry, you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, I need to confess.
What the hell?
What?
Sorry, I just tried to go to I was trying to be proactive and preemptively go to the next story, but I got this big security alert because it says you can't go here because this website is trash. So I have to open it on my phone because last week we were talking about, sorry, you're not going to jail. Sorry to leave everybody on a cliffhanger, but yeah, Vancouver has gotten rid of all plastic bags.
Yeah.
And only has reusable bags. But I'm in Burnaby, which is kind of like a suburb.
Yeah.
It's like Everett is to Seattle. And here some places still have plastic bags. So that's why I was asking if you guys did, because apparently America doesn't care about the turtles for whatever fucking annoying reason they got rid of I just saw today that New Jersey's having a huge problem with the reusable bag thing because and they said one of the reasons that it's a huge problem is because they're trying to curb people of their New Jersey mentality. And it was like,
what?
Because in the state of New Jersey, you can't even use paper bags. You can't use single-use bags at all. So you only have reusable bags. And the thing with reusable bags is they're still made of plastic.
Right.
And if you don't use them 11 times, you're not helping anything. And so every time you order DoorDash or like Uber Eats in New Jersey, they bring it to you in a reusable bag because they don't even have plastic bags. So these people are just having these buildups of reusable bags. So last week we were talking about vampires and how in Poland they found they were like, we found these vampire skeletons. And what it was they dug it up and they had locks on their legs and they had a scythe over their neck so that if the person were to come back alive, it would cut their head off.
Yeah.
And then the same website was even more vampire news. So of course I'm like, fuck yeah, give me more. So they're more trips or tricks that people were using for burying their vampires. And one of them was placing a rock in their mouth or a brick in the like dead person's mouth.
Okay.
Which would be awkward. Oh my God. Is that it? I love these articles. Are like all these chips, and it's just like rocks and
I
stones,
thought
and that's it.
vampires couldn't die.
Well, it doesn't make much sense because all these people are treating like people they think are vampires from coming back alive. Because it was like,
but that would make a zombie, right?
Yeah, I think what it is if you kill a vampire, but you don't use a stake or cut off its head, it just comes back to life. Like it's like getting knocked out as a person. They just come back to life a little bit later.
Mm.
And a zombie is more of like a
vampire knowledge is from Twilight. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just reading this article. Anyways, yeah, so there's just more stuff. Ooh, a Nachzeher is another name for a vampire.
A Nachzeher?
I'm just totally derailed right now. Anyways, yeah, so it's like they just put the like rocks in their mouths to stop them from being vampires. I don't know how it works.
Seems legit.
You don't want to watch this podcast of me reading, especially since this is quick hit.
Okay, quick hit.
Next one is MTG. Marjorie Taylor Greene kicks a reporter. I saw this on Reddit. Like everybody was super butthurt that Marjorie Taylor Greene had like security on both sides of her, and she's walking down a sidewalk, and there's this reporter asking her questions and just being like annoying and kind of like trolling her. Yeah,
in the way. I watched the video. She was in the way.
Yeah, she definitely was in the way. And I'm not saying MTG was okay to kick her, but it was kind of like, it looked like it was just her like, get out of my way, I'm walking here.
Yeah.
But she should have just like
to me.
She should have just put, because the reporter was walking in front of her and kind of like half turned and then just like slowed down. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but
maybe the first time wasn't on purpose, but then it was kind of looked like it was kind of like okay, now move.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I don't know if the reporter was slowing down in front of her on purpose. But yeah, then you see, like, it looks like MTG kind of like kicks her feet. It's off camera, so you can't tell what's happening.
Yeah.
And everybody's like in an uproar. And some people are like, well, don't get in the fucking way. Like, that's bad reporting etiquette. Right. And my whole thing is like, she has security on her arms. She's going somewhere she has to be. And they're like, security are rushing her along so nothing happens. So she probably shouldn't have kicked her. She should have maybe straight armed her. But then you kind of don't want to do that because it's on camera, you touching someone, and it could count as assault. The smartest thing to do would have just been to stop, tell her security to grab this reporter and get her out of the way. But then that's a whole nother thing.
Do most Congress people have their own security detail?
They should. When you're
doesn't seem like that's normal.
Fucking shoot your mouth off like MTG. You need security guards.
MTG.
Or MTG. Yeah.
When you first sent it, I thought it was Machine Gun Kelly.
Mm.
Oh, and then like, oh yeah. Wait, that's not.
Mm-hmm. No. Okay, so you think what are your final thoughts on this?
I think the reporter should have gotten out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, yeah, it was kind of like, don't kick someone, but it's like, if I'm in Costco and you're not moving your cart, it's like, I'm gonna like, kind of,
Yeah, maybe MTG should just start walking with a cart in front of her to give her space so that she can just hit people with it.
Yeah.
An Edmonton, okay, this is next topic. An Edmonton brewery makes t-shirts. Here, I'm just gonna open this article so I can see what the t-shirt said. So they released 500 t-shirts that they were giving away as kind of like a marketing scheme for charity, where they were like, and on them it said, oh fuck, it's a video, shit.
And it was like a hand doing this.
Yeah. Oh, and it said "Be More Kind Day."
Yeah.
So it has like a drawing of like hands like this, and it says "Be More Kind" underneath. Yeah. And then the deaf community got very upset because it's close to the hand signal for vagina, which is this.
Wait,
so
is it though? Have we confirmed this?
Yeah, I looked it up. I Googled it. I Googled hand symbol for vagina.
Because I remember
this is also one.
Oh, okay. What about this? Because years ago, the University of Oregon, they all in football, the football fans will do this, like make an O for Oregon.
Oh, for Oregon, yeah.
And there was some similar outcry from the deaf community that this was sign for vagina or something.
Oh, maybe it's like the same thing, like this. Yeah.
And like, I remember some of the players who were majoring in sign language, which is funny to me. They were like, we don't like it when people do this.
Yeah. So the whole point, I think the main thing is you make a diamond. So like DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, the old wrestler, he did this because like a diamond, and it was like a vagina or whatever.
But the shirt had it like this.
Yeah, the thumbs down, because it makes a heart. And I say to these,
it's easier to do this.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I don't know why they didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But maybe fuck off, deaf people. It wasn't a vagina. It was a heart.
The lady in the interview, she was all upset. I'm like, I don't understand why. I guess even if it is similar to the, sign for vagina, is vagina a bad word? I don't know.
Like, what is this lady gonna go burn down all of Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings because flowers look like vaginas?
I don't know. And honestly, I feel bad for this guy who was just trying to raise money for the community or whatever. And now all the attention is because the hand symbol looks like something else.
Oh,
I
my
feel
God.
like the message was lost.
I'm going to email this guy and tell him that instead of using, they should make the exact same t-shirt, but instead of using the hand symbol, I'm just going to make sure that Georgia O'Keeffe is the one who painted all the vaginas.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, yeah. They should use a Georgia O'Keeffe painting and just like the flowers. That would be so much funnier. I'm just impressed I pulled that out, that I knew that
Georgia
reference.
O'Keeffe?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because usually I'll like remember that there was an artist who painted flowers that look like vaginas, but I won't remember the name. And then I'll just like, Yeah. All right. Final statement on this for me is it doesn't look enough like the vagina. It's obvious they were trying to make a heart. They're trying to raise money for charity. Yeah. Stop big facing your way into the story and leave it alone.
I concur.
Okay. The next story is Jimmy Kimmel at the Emmys was laying on the ground. Did you watch the Emmys? Did you see this?
I did not, but I saw everything about this.
Yeah, I saw pictures. So what happened was he was co-hosting with someone else, or were they co-announcing the award?
I think he was just announcing the award.
Oh yeah, so it was him and someone else, and it was for comedic actress or main comedic
or was it writing?
Actress.
Variety show. I think it was writing, wasn't it?
No, because no, I think here. Let me see for sure, because let's see. It was outstanding writing for a comedy series with.
I think that's what makes it worse, because Kimmel has never won for his writing because he's an unfunny piece of shit.
He is. And he always tries to be like Mr. Woke Pants when he was part of the Man Show, so he shouldn't be allowed to be. Every time he does something where he like tries to like cry over how people are mistreated, they should be like, you hosted the Man Show, shut up. You're okay on Ben Stein's money, but you don't get to be Mr. Woke Pants.
Funny. I don't like him. I will not watch Jimmy Kimmel. I will watch Jimmy Fallon. I do not like Jimmy Kimmel. I think what he did at the Emmys is peak white male privilege.
Okay.
Yeah.
This time or something else?
No, this time, what he
Okay.
did, he like was on stage for her entire moment.
Yeah.
A Black
So,
woman receiving a writing award, and he
yeah.
just laid there. He made it part of his bit. It's in every picture.
Yeah.
I'd
That
be
is
so
bad.
if I were her.
Um, so I'm going to give you the reason why he was doing this, because he didn't just like walk up and then lay down. So Will Arnett and Jimmy Kimmel were supposed to co-announce the winner for best writing for a comedy series. So it was him and Will Arnett. And then Will Arnett dragged Kimmel on stage and joked that Kimmel had gotten into the skinny margaritas backstage. And then Will Arnett announced that Quinta Brunson from, was it
Abbott
Abbott
Elementary,
Elementary,
yeah.
which, by the way, I watched the first 3 episodes. Not that funny.
I think
Shouldn't have won this Emmy. It's all right. It's like, it does the whole like Office Space, Parks and
yeah,
Rec, look at the
yeah,
camera thing.
yeah.
And it's about a elementary school in Philadelphia. And it's like, it's funny enough to watch. Like, it's like Superstore level funny.
It's funny enough to have on while you're doing something else.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, I won an Emmy, but like you said,
Yeah,
Ted Lasso won all the other Emmys. So
yeah.
it's just like, it's like boring people funny. I'll say that. So Jimmy Kimmel's laying down. She like steps over him as part of the joke. And then like she does her announcement or whatever. And then Will Arnett comes out and drags him back off stage.
It's not funny. He
No,
shouldn't have done it.
yeah.
I think he stole her moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not funny.
Yeah. And I think he'll be like, oh, I didn't mean to steal her moment. I didn't think it'd be funny. I thought it'd be funny if I was on stage for this whole thing. But you're right. It is in every picture. It would have been
Yeah,
okay if he dragged him and left him out, like to the
right,
side. But it's
right,
like, she's like, there's pictures of her giving her speech and he's just laying down on the ground. And everybody's going to be like, what the fuck's going on with this picture?
right.
Because it
I
was
just
like, yeah,
such a shitty thing to do because isn't she like the first Black female to win this award? I don't know. I think it was probably a special moment for her.
yeah. It
I'd
was
be
her
mad.
first Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I don't
who
know.
else
You
would
could be
have the
right.
audacity to do that than like an unfunny white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel, unfunny
Jimmy
white
Kimmel.
guy.
Yes,
Um, oh, and our last one,
yes.
the end topic, which is actually pretty good. So, a chess player in some apparently big deal tournament
Yeah.
was accused of cheating by using vibrating devices. And then I think it was Elon Musk, who just shows up fucking everywhere, went on Twitter and said he probably had anal beads. So the story is, this guy was accused of cheating at chess by using anal beads.
I do not understand how the anal beads are supposed to help at chess. It's supposed
Well,
to be in his shoe. They weren't they like in his shoe?
yeah, because like the way that the vibrations work is it's like left and right, and like I guess left is across, right is up. So it's like it'll be like beep beep beep, whoop, 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 and
But how
that'll
do
be
they
which
know?
piece,
Is it
and then it'll be
connected
like,
to a computer?
yeah, it's connected to like a chess playing computer that is like solves all these problems and will tell him where to move his. So it's basically a super smart computer algorithm thing would be vibrating through his shoes and he would interpret it to where to move his things. But then it got telephoned along the way by
Right.
maybe Elon Musk or someone else might have said it, that there was the anal beads that were vibrating, so that's why they didn't find it in his shoes or whatever. So
Seems so far-fetched to me.
yeah.
And it's like there's no evidence for this. This is just like you said, a game of telephone on Twitter with Elon Musk.
Yeah. I just love it because as soon as I saw this, I was like, is this a spoiler for season 2 of Queen's Gambit?
That's a good show.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
I was like, wow, a TV show about chess. I'm not watching this, even though I'm reading news stories about chess. Yeah. So apparently the reason they said he was cheating too was the guy he beat is some big dick grandmaster at chess,
Right.
like fucking super duper player guy. And the guy who beat him's like some up and coming phenom, but he's only like 19. So,
which doesn't, I mean, but if he's also a potential grandmaster, then.
mhm. Oh, and the guy he beat was named Carlson, and he's played 53 classical matches without ever being beaten. So I think chess is like split up into two different things. There's like classical style and some other style. I don't know. But this one style that this Carlson guy got beat at, he had a win streak of 53, which seems super good, but you got to lose sometime.
Right.
Maybe he just fucked up. Maybe he had anal beads and couldn't concentrate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like, every winning streak has to come to an end. Doesn't necessarily mean the other person was cheating.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm willing to entertain this fantasy because it's hilarious to think of some buckled down nerd chess player with anal beads vibrating inside of him.
That this is the drama in the chess world.
Yeah. They're not spitting on each other. They're just using vibrating sex toys.
Yeah. Much more civilized.
If only Harry Styles and Big Head could squash their beef with vibrating sex toys. Chris Pine, that's who. I just lost his name for a sec.
Chris Pine.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
We made it through.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say that this was your first podcast, so good. You handled it very well. Thank you for joining the show. I'm glad you came on to explain Spitgate to me, and I'm sorry if I derailed it too much.
No, the derailing was the fun part.
Yeah. Where can people find you? On Twitter?
Well, I'm on Twitter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At Erin_Ville and Instagram, but I'm private on Instagram because I post pictures of my kids. Yeah.
Private. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it for the socials.
Okay.
I'm mostly retweets on Twitter. Not a lot of original material, but
yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, we've interacted enough that she should have popped into your feed via me because she retweets all my hilarious tweets.
I do. I like all your tweets. I think you're really funny.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna clip this and send it to Derek. It's funny because that's the only compliment I care about is if people think I'm funny.
You are funny.
Thank you. That's awesome. It's yeah. You could find me on Twitter at SuperDalebot. Speaking of my Twitter, the podcast Twitter is at Outrage Fact Pod. Usually I send when we're gonna do these live streams, like a half hour or whatever. I'll be like, hey, we're going live. Come join us. So you could do that. I will also post the link to the YouTube video of this post live stream. I don't tweet too much on there because I only have it signed in on my laptop and I always tweet from my phone. So, but whatever. You can send us a Gmail or an email at our Gmail. If you have any feedback, you want to side with Erin and tell me how funny I am, that's fine too. That's outragefactpod@gmail. Facebook is facebook.com/outragefactpod. You can find us on Spotify. If you are listening to this and you like what you hear, even if you don't like what you hear, like it anyway, subscribe, maybe leave a little comment or a review. And yeah, we have merch still available in the Redbubble store. The link's in the show notes. Yeah. So that's it. Unless you had anything else to add.
No.
Okay. So until next time, do you know it?
No.
Oh, it's just this dumb thing at the end where I go, Derek usually says it, but he's not here. So he goes, until next time. and then I say stay angry. So I'm gonna say until next time. I'm not clipping any of this out, by the way, either. So it's gonna be super awkward. But I'll say until next time, and then you say stay angry. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Until next time.
Stay angry.